Your beliefs can make you sick, but they also have the power to heal you. Today I had a conversation with a man in my neighborhood, and we talked about the weather. He said that it's good to stay at home when it's raining because it's raining outside, because otherwise you get sick. And I thought that's interesting because I believe the opposite. I believe that when it's raining and you go for walks, it's actually very good for your health. It's very good for your immune system and it boosts your immune system. And it recharges you or it recharges me. That's my belief. And I happen to experience exactly that. But I then thought to myself, when he's now going for a 2 hour walk, he's probably going to get sick because he believes that it's making him sick. And that's so interesting that two people can have a totally different perspective on something that's happening for all of us, you know? And today I want to talk about how our thoughts, how beliefs create our reality and how they can make us sick or how they can heal us in various aspects of our lives. But I'm actually going to refer to health mainly here. For example, now that it's getting colder, that we're moving into the winter season, a lot of people get sick, a lot of people catch a cold. But what I figured out is that it really depends on what you believe about the cold. First of all, I say it can happen to everyone. Nobody's nobody's immortal. We all are human beings, and we can all get sick in this society because, unfortunately, there are many factors, external factors that we don't have an influence on that affect our health. Even if we are totally healthy, if we move our bodies, if we are doing all the right things, it can happen to everyone. But I firmly believe that our beliefs about our health have a strong impact on what type of health or what experience of life we experience. So, for example, when somebody catches a cold now and he believes he needs a pill to become healthy again, and otherwise, if the pill is not there, it's going to take ages for him to become healthy again, that's probably going to be his experience. And he's probably having the belief that the body can't heal itself or that self-healing is just some woo-woo bullshit or whatever, you know. But on the other hand, if someone has a belief that this is not something bad and the body has the power to regenerate itself and to heal itself, if he believes in self-healing, he's probably going to get healthy pretty soon again, pretty quick again, without any pills or without any external factors. And this is what I've experienced for myself. Since 2020, I barely got sick. And if I got sick, it only lasted for a few days because I adopted the belief that I can heal myself and that I don't get sick. That sickness is not part of my reality. And although this sounds strange to you, maybe it sounds strange, maybe it doesn't, but even if this sounds strange to you, it's what I've programmed myself with. It's a belief that I've programmed myself with. And it's funny, it became my reality because I barely got sick. But I'm not saying that I can never get sick or that you can never get sick because it can happen to anyone. But just as an example of how our beliefs can and actually do create our reality. So it's really important to become aware of what you believe. And also, sickness is often tied to emotions. When you're constantly stressed, when you constantly are in fear, when you're constantly angry, you're putting a lot of pressure and a lot of negative energy on your nervous system. And then your body reacts and usually manifests in the form of sickness. And it's not called dis-ease for no reason because you are out of ease, dis-ease. So the way back to health is to be at ease, to take time to relax, to connect to yourself again, and to come back to peace. And usually, the most common factors for sickness or illness or disease are fear, stress, lack of movement, and bad nutrition. So, people that usually eat well, that exercise, and that know how to manage their stress levels, that know how to manage their life experience and to lower the levels of stress in their lives usually don't get as sick from what I've observed and also what I've observed in my own life. So even paying attention to this stuff can help you to increase your health. But on the other hand, if you're eating healthy, for example, but subconsciously have the thought or the belief that you're doing this out of fear of not getting sick, For example, you eat a healthy meal, but subconsciously there's a belief that you have to do this, otherwise you will get sick. Then that fear is going to manifest itself as sickness as well, can manifest itself. Doesn't necessarily have to be. But what we fear, we usually attract even faster. And a lot of times, when you let yourself be guided from fear, the exact thing that you fear is coming to reality. It becomes real. So even if you eat healthy, but you're only eating healthy because you're afraid of being sick, you can also make yourself sick. And that's how these deep ingrained subconscious beliefs actually shape our reality. And even if you go into scripture, if you go into religious texts, all of them, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you believe in. I'm not religious, but I think you can get great information and can get great inspiration from all of them. They all talk about the same thing, that we become what we think about. But it's not just what we think about, it's what we believe. Because if you believe in a thought, then it becomes a reality. And there's even a saying that you shouldn't believe everything you think because you have multiple thoughts and a lot of them haven't been picked up by you picked them up, but subconsciously, unconsciously. And a lot of them haven't been created by you. You might have picked them up from your family, from school, from society, from TV, from music. A lot of beliefs have been passed on to you, and you have blindly accepted them without knowing. And especially as children, we tend to just take it all in because our subconscious mind is wide open. But you have the power to change your beliefs, and you have the power to access your beliefs. And like I said in the beginning, your beliefs can make you sick or they can heal you. And this doesn't just go for your health. This goes for all aspects of your life, for your relationships, for your career, for your business, whatever, for everything. So it's really important to find out what you believe about a certain topic, and especially what disempowers you and what empowers you. But especially find out what disempowers you, because when you know what disempowers you, you can change it. And how most people are not aware of this, but how do you find out what's disempowering you? How do you find out what beliefs are actually empowering you and disempowering you? Simply by asking yourself, what do I believe about this? What do I believe about relationships? What do I believe about health or self-healing? What do I believe about social media? What do I believe about money? What do I believe? You can do this for every category. And by asking yourself that, and ideally writing it down, you become aware of what you're believing about it. And then you can identify for yourself if it's serving you, if it's empowering, or if it's disempowering you. Because they're either empowering or disempowering beliefs. Beliefs based in love, empower, or beliefs based in fear or force. There's a great book, Power versus Force, that I can highly recommend, which talks more in detail about this. But when you become aware of the beliefs that disempower you, you can then change them. And it might take longer. Some will be easier to be changed. Some will take longer to change because they're so deeply ingrained in you. But if your belief, for example, is that I'm always tired, I never have any energy, you can simply, when you're aware of this belief, the most important aspect is that you become aware of it, you can simply turn it around and say, I have unlimited energy. I don't get tired. I take time to rest and recharge when it's time to rest and recharge, but I don't get tired. I have unlimited energy. That's something because a couple years ago I always said I'm tired, and I was tired. But then I became aware that I'm always saying this because your words have a lot of power too and influence your life as well. This is another video I'm gonna make probably, but what you say has a tremendous effect on your life as well. And once I became aware that I'm always saying I'm tired, I simply stopped saying that and adapted the belief that I have unlimited energy. And now I barely get tired. In the evening time when it's time to rest, I prepare myself for rest, but I don't say that I'm tired because I eliminated that word out of my vocabulary or barely use it, and I adopted the belief that I have unlimited energy. And you can do that for everything. And like I said in the beginning, it also was the same for me with my health. Before 2020, I used to get sick on a regular basis. Since then, I barely got sick, maybe one or two times. And even when I got sick, I quickly recovered because I had the belief. And that's another thing. When you are aware of what's here, don't resist it. When you accept that you are sick, or whatever you're in, but let's stay with sickness. When you accept that you are sick, that's when you accept what's here right now. But then you have the power to change it by simply going within yourself and connecting with the energy of health. We're connecting with the energy of your source, because your source is health and your source is all that is good. And when you can close your eyes and really feel into what it feels like to be healthy, or even recall a state in your life where you had like unlimited energy and when you just felt extremely vital in the life, and you tap into that state, it changes your physiology, it changes your state of being. And you have to experience this for yourself. In general, like everything I say here, question it. Everything you hear on the internet or in general in life, question it and make your own opinion of it. But don't just have an opinion of it. With things like this, try it out for yourself, because then you know. And experience is the best teacher. Of course, only if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, then leave it. But you can heal yourself. I firmly believe that you can heal yourself. And I experienced it multiple times in my life. Simply going within myself and repeating the mantra, but not just repeating the mantra, but also feeling into the energy of perfect health and repeating, I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. Meditating on it, feeling into it, and even acting it out. Acting as if I'm in perfect health. But first you have to accept it and don't resist it, because the stronger you resist it, the stronger it grows and the longer the process takes. But if you accept it, if you say, this is what it is now, I feel into it, but now that I felt into it, I'm aware that I can change it. That's when you can change literally anything in your life. And it's just important to become aware of what you feel and what you think and what you believe. Because again, your beliefs create your reality, believe it or not. So become aware of what disempowers you and what empowers you. And if you need help with this, I've created something called the Elevation Guide, where I broke down 3 steps that helped me enormously in my life to increase my energy and to become, also gain more clarity and to just have more joy for life. And there I have a section that actually helps you to identify what empowers you and disempowers you, what's serving you, what's not serving you. You can get it in my bio or in the link in the description, wherever you're watching this. And yeah, that's it. I hope this is helpful for you. Again, try it out for yourself. When you experience sickness, don't intentionally make yourself sick. But if you get into the position where you are sick, remember this. Simply try it out for yourself. Feel into the sickness, feel it in your body, acknowledge it, but then shift your thoughts to the feeling of being healthy and keep your thoughts there. And do it through meditation, do it through affirmation, do it through acting it out and acting as if, and it will become your reality. And this doesn't just go for health, this goes for everything, but especially with health. I think there's a big issue that we're facing right now. That's why I addressed it in this video. You can make yourself healthy and you can make yourself sick with your beliefs and what you believe about a certain thing. And don't believe everything you think, and question yourself where these beliefs come from. And once you know, reinforce the new belief, because it will probably take time if you have these old beliefs deeply ingrained into your life or into your brain, into your consciousness, so that the new belief then hardens itself and becomes a reality. If this was helpful, share it with a friend, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I'm Laharu. This is the way of law, and we keep on rising. One love.